first you want to prepare the scalp. Make sure the scalp is clean by using a shampoo and conditioner. You also want to use a bacterial spray. Here we have the Jesband bacterial spray, and you just spray that liberally across the client's scalp. Next, you want to use a scalp protector. Now, the scalp protector helps for the adhesive to stick, as well as giving a layer of protection over the scalp itself. So here you can see the scalp protector that we're going to use, and they generally come with an easy to apply rolling ball, and then you just literally will just dab that on the scalp area that you're going to apply the adhesive to. Links to where you can find all these products is also included in the training. Once you've applied the products, you want to leave the scalp for a moment or two, just so that everything is dry, because you don't want to be applying adhesive onto the scalp when it is still wet or damp. So now we're going to prepare the unit, and then we are going to get ready to put some adhesive on the scalp. Obviously, with this particular mannequin, there is some hair on the scalp, but ideally you'll be applying adhesive to the scalp where there is no hair, and yeah, because you don't want to be pulling any hairs out as a result of putting the glue on. There are obviously some glues that you can apply to existing hair, but we're not going to be demonstrating on that. That's all depending on the type of product that you're using and the type of glue that you're using. So we are going to put double-sided tape on the front of the system, and because the sides and the back is quite thin, we're just going to use the glue that we're going to put on the client's scalp. So all we're going to do is apply the double-sided tape to the front of the system, and the rest is going to be bonded onto the client using glue. So the double-sided tape generally comes in different lengths, and it also comes in different widths as well. So you're generally going to be cutting it down to the size that you need, just to make sure that you're putting the double-sided tape exactly where it needs to be done. Now we're going to be using the Jesband, and the good thing about the Jesband is it indicates which side should be on the skin, and therefore you know which side you should apply to the system. Always apply your double-sided tape to the system first before applying it to the skin. It's a lot easier to do it that way, because you're then going to make sure that you are positioning it in exactly the right place, and you're not putting it in an area where it doesn't need to be. So we are using the Jesband. The Jesband is very easy to apply, and the great thing about the Jesband is that it's very, very great for sensitive skin, because the material that they use is better than acrylic, and it makes sure that there is no allergies or anyone that is suffering from allergies. So we're going to apply the side that needs to be on the system first, and as you can see, we're putting it at a slight angle. The Jesband comes in a long strip, so you're able to cut the Jesband down to size, so that you are not wasting any of the material. What we're going to do is we're going to overlap the adhesive just because of the curve that is on the front of this system. And as you can see there, in order to do that, I've taken off the side that says skin side, and I'm going to put the other side on, but you're going to see that I'm going to overlap it slightly just so that it can follow the curve. If you don't do this, what you'll end up having is a lot of double-sided tape that's just sticking out of the corners that you will then have to cut, and that's not a problem. It's just that, you know, it's additional work that you would rather not have. So as you can see there, the second piece of the Jesband which I've cut is just going to lie on this section that is needing the adhesive, and I've just slightly, if you can look there, overlapped it just so that I can get that curve. So now I'm just removing the tape protector there, and once that's done, the system is ready to be installed. So you just want to put it in a safe place so that you do not impact on the stickiness of the tape, and then we're now going to prepare the client's scalp with the glue. So now it's time to apply the glue. Generally use a makeup sponge and then I put my glue into a tub, because generally once you've used it, it will go dry and generally you can't use it again. I just dip the makeup sponge, which I kind of like cut from a larger piece, and into the glue, and then dab it onto the area that I want to put the system on. So that dabbing effect just distributes the glue evenly to make sure that you don't have too much glue in an area. The glue that we're using is the Ghost Bond, and the beauty about the Ghost Bond is that it dries clear. So I would say that you should put about 2 coats of Ghost Bond on. So you put the first coat on, you wait for it to go clear and sticky. So when I say sticky, a little bit tacky, and then you go in and you put another layer of Ghost Bond on. Just check with your fingers to make sure that it is tacky, because that will give you a good idea as to when you're ready to put the system on. It is important that the glue is tacky and not wet, and also not completely dry, because if it is completely dry, then it's not going to stick well, and if it's still wet, then it's just going to seep into the system that you've got. So you just want to make sure that you are comfortable that it is tacky, not wet, and also not too dry. So when it comes to actually placing the system on the scalp, there is a method in which you do this, just to make sure that it is going to lie flat on the scalp of the client. So I'm just going to show you with my fingers how to do this. So what you're going to do, first of all, if you're looking at your 5 fingers, you put your thumb in front of the system, the 2 fingers next to your thumb go on top of the system, and the 2 final fingers go below. So what I'll show you again, the thumb is going to go in front of the system, the 2 fingers next to it on top, and the final 2 fingers below. Try that on the other side. The 5 fingers, you're going to put your thumb in front, the 2 fingers on top, and the next 2 fingers below. This allows you to manipulate the system the way you want to. So the thumb's process is to keep the system up from the back so that it doesn't lie onto the areas that you're not ready to lay down. Then the 2 front fingers are literally kind of keeping the system sturdy, while the top fingers are rolling the system onto the client's head. You're going to make sure that you go like in a downward position so that the system, the front is down and the back is up. And as you can see, the thumb there is rolling the system up so that it is not touching the scalp when we're not ready. You'll find that also the 2 fingers that I am showing you now, they're only used temporarily in the beginning. So if you watch me just apply the system on, you can see the top 2 fingers are what's rolling it on. And as you can see, I'm just rolling it on. Just rolling it on, bit by bit. And you start to use less fingers as you go through to the end. Once you've placed it on and you're happy with your placement, then you can just press it down just to give it that extra security. Just press it down all around the perimeter, all around the edges, all around the back. I'm just going to show you also a back view just so that you can see me rolling it on. So you can see the thumb there, and you can see my fingers. So it's literally, as you go towards the back, the only fingers that you're using will be the thumbs underneath and the 2 fingers that's closest to the thumbs. And you just gradually use those 2 fingers to roll it on, as you can see there. Gradually use the finger on both sides to roll on the system until you get to the very end. So once the system is installed, all that is left is for you to use a comb or a brush to blend the system in with the client's existing hair, and then cut and style accordingly. Whilst cutting and styling is not part of this course, I will recommend that you do use a spray bottle to damp the hair first before cutting, so that you end up with a better finish.